Wanted to fight, I really wanted to go out there and put him to sleep. But yeah, I want to fight Parker, I want to fight AJ, Usyk. These are the guys that I see I got on my radar. I want to put someone to sleep again and get back out there and show the people that, you know, I am the man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for everyone. You know, he's with all the legends now. Hopefully he's with Ali in heaven or something.
It was a bit suspicious that talks about you and Usyk were happening straight after, and there was talks in the media that this fight between you and Usyk was happening. So, you've got the right to respond. So in regards to that, for people that say, where's the proof that you were ill, what's your right to respond in regards to that?
Yeah, I was 100% focused on that fight. I wanted to go out there and put him to sleep. So there was none of that. You know, we had the British Border Control. You can ask them and their doctor, and you know, you're gonna get the proof from them. But that's what happened. I'm not making any of this up. You know, but I wanted to go out there and put him to sleep, and you know, shit happened.
Daniel Dubois wasted no time firing back at accusations that his illness was merely an excuse before his fight with Joseph Parker. When questioned about the timing, right as discussions about a potential U.S. fight were gaining traction, he stood firm. Dubois didn't just dismiss the rumors, he shut them down completely. He made it crystal clear there was no deception, no distraction, just an unwavering focus on knocking Parker out. And for those still doubting him, he pointed directly to the British Boxing Board of Control's medical records, proving beyond question that his illness was real. The whispers of a fake injury no longer matter, because
still though, I want to run it back. If they can get that fight on, that's what I want. That's what the fight I want next. It's unfinished business, and it's left a bit of taste in my mouth. And
have you heard the latest controversy?
Dubois is ready to silence every critic with his fists. He isn't just fired up, he's on a mission. His focus is razor sharp, and he has made it clear that stepping into the ring isn't just about winning, it's about domination. He's not just looking to outpoint his opponents, he wants to put them to sleep. The hunger in his voice is unmistakable, and his ambitions extend far beyond Joseph Parker. Dubois is setting his sights on the biggest names in the sport, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. These aren't just fights to him, they're statements. He doesn't want to merely compete, he wants to take over. But
favourite now or not marginal favourite?
Parker may start slight favourite. On recent form, you have to go with Joseph Parker. And I believe that if that fight does happen with Daniel Dubois versus Alexander Usyk, the WBO title then becomes vacated. Joseph Parker's the WBO interim champion. And so we could see he could get elevated to WBO champion. Anthony Joshua, that's his route back into the...
There's unfinished business to settle first. The sting of his loss to Parker still lingers, and Dubois isn't the type to let it slide. He's demanding a rematch, not just to avenge the defeat, but to prove, once and for all, that he belongs at the very top. He believes the outcome of their first fight doesn't define him, and he's determined to rewrite the narrative. The pressure is mounting, but Dubois thrives under fire. With every doubt thrown his way, he only grows stronger. He's ready to step back into the ring and prove that he's not just a contender, he's a force to be reckoned with. While Frank Warren talks about U.S. fights and undisputed glory, Daniel Dubois is quietly seething.
Talking about the Usyk fight, undisputed fight. On the other side, you got Daniel Dubois, the fighter himself, saying that he wants to fight Joseph Parker. Daniel Dubois feels like, listen, there's unfinished business there, man. He wants to put things right. He doesn't like the fact that people are coming out online and giving him stick. They're calling him Duck Dubois, man. Triple knee, triple duck. How dare he's being questioned? He's a true warrior. That's what Daniel Dubois believes.
His mind isn't on future titles. It's locked onto one thing, Joseph Parker. To Dubois, their fight is unfinished business, and it must be settled. But what's truly fueling his fire? The relentless criticism. Online trolls have labeled him a coward, mocking him as triple knee, painting him as a fighter who folds under pressure. Dubois has had enough. How dare they question his heart and courage? He's not a runner, he's a warrior. The idea that people think he's avoiding challenges infuriates him. All he's ever done is step up, take on every fight presented to him, and now he's on a mission, not just to win, but to make a statement. He's coming back to silence the doubters with a performance they won't forget.
And I think they made the right decision. Live to fight another day. Because if Daniel went in there against Joseph Parker, 60% fit, then after the fight said, you know what, I was ill, people would be like, you're making excuses. So look, ultimately, the right thing happened. But I think the way in which Daniel and his team have gone about it in terms of telling the public, I think they've done it wrong. Because again, you're just adding fuel to the fire. You really are adding fuel to the fire. Daniel said in that interview a couple of interesting things. He said that he was sick. I think he said Thursday or Friday, which kind of makes sense.
Meanwhile, boxing analyst Ade Oladipo isn't pulling punches when discussing Dubois' controversial withdrawal. He admits that fighting at only 60% would have been disastrous, but he doesn't give Dubois a free pass. The real mistake? Dubois and his team mishandled the situation entirely. Instead of keeping his illness private, they publicized it, handing critics the perfect weapon to tear him down. What should have been a minor setback turned into a self-inflicted PR disaster. Now, the biggest question looms. Will this blunder permanently stain Dubois' reputation before he even gets the chance to redeem himself? The backlash is brutal, the pressure is rising, and his toughest challenge isn't just proving himself in the ring.
I think if you were to give Dubois the choice, considering that Usyk's for an undisputed, AJ's probably more money, I think he wants the Parker fight. I think he's so pissed off with the narrative that's kind of come out of him not fighting. He's like, fuck that, I want to fight Parker. I want the Parker fight. And really and truly, that is the fight that should happen, isn't it?
It's repairing his name before the damage becomes irreversible. Ade Oladipo is crystal clear on where Daniel Dubois' heart truly lies. If given the choice, Dubois wouldn't chase undisputed glory against Alexander Usyk or a career-defining payday against Anthony Joshua. No, he'd take Joseph Parker over anyone else. Why? Because for Dubois, this isn't about money, titles, or legacy. It's about revenge. He's burning over the way his withdrawal has been spun, and according to Oladipo, he's more determined than ever to rewrite the narrative. No belt, no paycheck, and no opponent matter more than proving his critics wrong. This fight is personal. Dubois isn't just looking to win, he's looking to make a statement. Now, the only question
are thinking, all right, July, where who else is it going to really be other than Alexander Usyk? But he's basically said that his preference is at this minute to fight Joseph Parker because he feels like there's unfinished business there. He went into Riyadh, he went into training camp, everything, wanting to go and beat Joseph Parker, wanting to do a demolition job on him, and now he feels quote unquote deprived of the opportunity, and he wants to right that wrong. He still wants to go and actually fight Joseph Parker.
that remains is whether his rage will fuel his rise or be his downfall. Either way, this is a war no one will want to miss. The heavyweight division is heating up, and Guiman Boxing is sounding the alarm. As July nears, all eyes are on Usyk, but here's the twist. Dubois doesn't care. While the world talks about undisputed glory, his focus is locked on one thing, the fight that never happened. His illness may have forced him out of his February showdown with Parker, but in his mind, it robbed him of a victory he believes was inevitable. Even at less than 100%, Dubois is convinced he would have crushed Parker. But here's where things get even more intense. Parker has already moved on. Instead of waiting for Dubois, he took a fight with Martin Bacol, adding even more fuel to Dubois' already burning rage. For Dubois, this isn't just about redemption, it's about reclaiming what he believes was stolen from him. The tension is at a boiling point.
Parker right now is on one of the hottest runs. I mean, if Dubois doesn't fight Usyk, I'd like to see Dubois fight Parker as well, because I think Joe deserves a shot at the world heavyweight title. But obviously, if there's a big unification fight, undisputed, then Joe's going to need another dance partner, and maybe it's a Joshua
Point. And if this fight finally happens, it could be more explosive than ever. The only question now, can Dubois still deliver, or has his delay cost him his shot at proving he belongs at the top? Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn has just dropped a bombshell that could shake up the entire heavyweight division. Parker is on fire, and if Dubois doesn't step up, Parker could be next in line for a world heavyweight title shot. The stakes have never been higher. Parker is riding a wave of momentum, but the burning question remains. Is he truly deserving of another crack at the top, or is he just another contender looking to capitalize? The heavyweight division is in chaos, and Joseph Parker is right in the middle of it. There's no doubt he has earned his spot, but there's a catch. If Alexander Usyk's massive unification fight moves forward, Parker may have to pivot. And that's where things get wild. Could we see a blockbuster rematch with Anthony Joshua?
We are hearing rumours that you're all in talks. What will happen to Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker in the next 4 or 5 months, in your view?
Well, I think they're going to be involved in some massive fights.
But with who?
With opponents.
I know you're not going. Listen, on Thursday, you said by the evening you'd tell us who Moses Talma was going to fight. Can you tell us now?
He will be on the card.
And which card?
On the Manchester card.
On April the 5th.
A fight like that would send shockwaves through the division. Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn's recent comments have thrust Parker into the spotlight, shaking up the heavyweight hierarchy. Make no mistake, Parker isn't just another name in the mix. He's hungry for gold, and time is running out. Will he seize his shot, or will the division move on without him? At the same time, Frank Warren just let loose in a fiery exchange with Gareth A. Davies, offering a rare glimpse into the ruthless chess game of heavyweight boxing. While Warren kept his cards close, speculation is reaching a fever pitch. Both Daniel Dubois and Parker are on the verge of career-defining showdowns. But here's the twist. Uncertainty looms over their next moves, adding even more chaos to the division. The landscape is shifting fast, and every decision now could have irreversible consequences. One wrong move, and a fighter's title hopes could vanish in an instant. Warren did confirm that Moses Itama will be part of the Manchester card on April 5th, but when pressed for more details, he shut the conversation down, keeping fans in suspense and cranking up the intrigue. With so much at stake, the moment of truth is fast approaching, and when the dust settles, the heavyweight division will never look the same again.